Welcome, everyone, to a space where transformation begins from within. If you're here, you're not just a viewer, you're part of a growing family committed to awakening your true power. And if you truly want to go deeper on this journey, consider becoming a member of our channel, Neville Manifestation, where we explore the art of creating reality from the inside out. Today, we're not just talking about success, we're about to completely redefine it. What if everything you've been taught about success is quietly keeping you stuck? What if the harder you chase your dreams, the further they seem to slip away, not because you're doing it wrong, but because you're playing the wrong game entirely? Tonight, I invite you to pause, to question the struggle, and to consider a truth so simple, yet so transformative, it has the power to change not just what you achieve, but who you become. Because maybe, just maybe, what you've been searching for has never been outside you at all. I want you to drop everything you've been taught about success, achievement, and what it takes to feel fulfilled. For a moment, just step back and look at how much effort you spend trying to get what you want. The constant push, the endless chasing, the belief that something out there will finally complete you. That very chase is the barrier. It keeps you stuck because every time you pursue something, you're silently confirming that you don't already have it. There is another way to live, a way that doesn't rely on force or struggle, but on alignment. It's not about doing more, it's about becoming something different internally. When you chase, you operate from lack. You're saying, I don't have this yet, and life simply reflects that back to you. But life doesn't respond to how hard you try, it responds to who you believe you are. Think about someone who desperately wants to be rich. He works non-stop, worries about money, constantly looks for opportunities. Yet no matter what he does, it feels like wealth slips through his fingers. Why? Because deep down, he still identifies as someone who doesn't have money. His actions are driven by lack, and life mirrors that. Now imagine someone else. Instead of chasing wealth, he assumes he already is wealthy. He feels it as normal. He carries himself like it's already true. He doesn't obsess over money, because in his mind, it's already his. From that place, his decisions come from confidence, not fear. And suddenly, opportunities start appearing in ways that feel almost effortless. This is what it means to let things come to you. It doesn't mean sitting still and doing nothing. It means acting from inspiration, not desperation. It means your inner state leads and your outer world follows. So how do you actually make this shift? It starts with your imagination. Your imagination isn't just for daydreaming. It's the place where your reality begins. When you vividly imagine yourself already living your desire and you feel it as real, you are creating something powerful. You are planting a new identity within yourself. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between something imagined with feeling and something physically experienced. It accepts whatever feels true. And once it accepts it, it begins to organize your reality around it. So when you stop chasing and start assuming, you are not being passive. You are creating from the inside out. This is the real meaning of allowing things to come to you. It's recognizing that what you want already exists within you, waiting to be expressed. The outer world is simply a reflection of your inner beliefs. There's a line that says, before they call, I will answer. This isn't about something outside of you granting your wishes. It's about the intelligence within you that already knows your desires before you even speak them. When you align with that inner knowing, you begin to move naturally toward what you want without force. But this doesn't mean you just sit back and wait. The real change happens inside. When you truly feel like the person who already has what you want, your behavior shifts automatically. You think differently, speak differently, and act differently without trying to. Take someone who wants a loving relationship. If they are chasing love, they might go on endless dates, overthink everything, and constantly worry about finding the right person. But all of that energy comes from feeling incomplete. Now imagine that same person deciding to feel loved already. They carry themselves with confidence, peace, and emotional fullness. They are no longer searching to fill a gap. They're expressing a state that already feels whole. From that place, they naturally attract the kind of connection they were looking for. This principle applies to everything. Whether it's money, health, success, or relationships, the shift is always the same. Stop chasing and start embodying. Because what you want is also moving toward you, but it can only meet you when you match it internally. You might wonder if this is just pretending or ignoring reality. It's not. It's understanding how reality actually works. Your current situation is the result of past beliefs and assumptions. It doesn't control your future unless you keep focusing on it. When you change your internal state, you are choosing a new direction for your life. The external world has no power on its own. It simply reflects what's happening inside you. If you chase outcomes, you're chasing reflections of old beliefs. But when you change your identity, your world rearranges to match it. This is the real secret behind effortless creation. It's about aligning with what you want internally and allowing life to respond. But it won't always feel easy at first. You may notice old habits trying to pull you back. Doubt may show up. That's normal. When that happens, don't fight those thoughts. Just notice them and gently return to the version of yourself who already has what you want. The change doesn't happen by battling what you don't want. It happens by consistently choosing what you do want. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you want a specific station, you don't fight the others. You simply adjust the dial until you're on the right frequency. In the same way, you don't need to fight your current reality. You just need to align yourself with the feeling of your desire already fulfilled. Your imagination is that dial. And the more you return to that inner state, the more your outer world begins to match it. Life is happening on different levels, almost like stations on a radio, each one carrying a different kind of experience. When you use your imagination to feel as if your desire is already real, you're tuning yourself to that exact level where it already exists. From there, matching experiences begin to enter your life naturally. But this isn't something you do once and forget. It's a lifestyle. Just like you can't stay physically fit with one workout, you can't expect real change from imagining your desire just one time. This is about returning to that state again and again until it feels normal. As you keep doing this, something interesting starts to happen. The urge to chase begins to disappear. It fades because chasing no longer makes sense. How can you run after something you already believe you are? How can you search for something you already feel you have? That shift alone changes everything, and it opens the door for your desires to come to you with ease. Now you might be thinking about action. Do you still need to do something? Of course you do. But there's a huge difference between forced action and inspired action. When you're chasing, your actions feel heavy, stressful, and driven by fear. But when you're living from the end, ideas and opportunities show up naturally. You feel guided instead of pressured. What you do feels right, almost effortless, because it's coming from a place of certainty. Look at nature for a moment. A tree doesn't run after sunlight or water. It simply grows, reaching in the direction it's meant to, and everything it needs comes to it. In the same way, you're not meant to struggle your way through life. You carry the same creative intelligence within you. When you align with it, things begin to flow. This doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for life to fix itself. It means actively using your imagination and choosing your inner state with intention. It requires trust, not in something outside of you, but in your own awareness. It's not about hoping things will happen someday. It's about knowing that in your inner world, it's already done, and the outer world will eventually reflect that. As you stay consistent with this, you'll begin to notice small signs. Maybe a conversation lines up perfectly with what you've been imagining. Maybe an unexpected opportunity appears. Maybe people start responding to you differently. Don't ignore these moments. They're evidence that your inner world is shaping what you experience. At the same time, don't become obsessed with looking for signs. Just notice them, appreciate them, and keep focusing on your state. Over time, you'll realize something deeper. The goal was never just the physical result. The real goal is the state you step into. When you fully live from that state, you already feel complete. You're no longer waiting for something outside of you to make you feel whole. And strangely enough, that's when things begin to show up the fastest. When you no longer need it, it comes. So instead of pushing harder, turn inward. Use your imagination. Feel what it's like to already be the person you want to be. Stay there as often as you can. Let that become your new normal, and watch how your life begins to reflect it. And if you're wondering what to do when old habits return, when you feel yourself slipping back into chasing, just pause. Take a breath and remind yourself that what you're looking for isn't outside of you. It's a state you can enter right now. Ask yourself how it would feel if it were already done. Step into that feeling, even if just for a moment, and let it grow. At first, this might feel unfamiliar. That's okay. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you won't have to force it at all. You'll shift into that state automatically, and life will begin to respond in ways that feel smooth and aligned. You're not trying to create something from nothing. You're simply connecting to something that already exists within you. And as you do that, your whole perspective starts to change. Things that once felt urgent lose their grip. The need to prove, to chase, to force begins to fall away. Life stops being about getting and starts being about being. In that state, you begin to move with life instead of against it. Ideas come easily. Opportunities appear at the right time. The right people enter your life without struggle. It starts to feel natural, almost effortless. And you begin to understand that this isn't luck or coincidence. It's the natural result of alignment. You are not separate from the power that creates your reality. You are that power. You don't need to search for it anywhere else. It has always been within you. Before you sleep each night, take a few quiet moments. Relax your body and mind. Then imagine a simple scene that proves your desire is already real. Make it vivid. Feel it fully. Let yourself experience it as if it's happening now. As you drift off to sleep in that feeling, you're planting a powerful idea in your subconscious. Do this regularly, without worrying about how or when things will happen. Your role is not to figure out the process. Your role is to stay in the feeling of it being done. During the day, if you catch yourself falling back into old patterns, gently bring yourself back. Remind yourself that it already exists within you, and your outer world will eventually reflect it. As you continue, you'll notice a quiet sense of certainty growing inside you. A calm confidence that doesn't need proof. That feeling is your guide. It's showing you that you're aligned with your true nature. Trust that feeling. Trust yourself. There is an intelligence within you that knows exactly how to bring everything together in the right way and at the right time. Your only job is to stay in the state of already having what you want. Live from that place. Let everything else take care of itself. Because the outer world is only a reflection. When you change what's happening inside you, everything outside has no choice but to follow. This is not wishful thinking. It's a principle that governs how reality unfolds. And when you truly begin to live from the end, you stop waiting for life to happen. You experience it now, within yourself first, knowing that what you feel inside will soon become your lived experience. If you already knew how your story ends, with complete certainty, would you still sit there worrying about what might happen? Of course not. You'd relax, because the outcome is already decided. That's the mindset you're stepping into here. This isn't about fooling yourself or forcing belief. It's about connecting with the part of you that already has everything you desire, the version of you that already exists. Once this really clicks, you'll start to see why chasing doesn't help at all. In fact, it works against you. Chasing assumes what you want is outside of you, something distant that you need to catch. But the truth is, everything you want already exists within your own awareness, waiting to be expressed. Take a moment to feel that. Close your eyes if you want. Breathe deeply. As you exhale, let go of the urge to struggle, to force, to chase. Allow yourself to settle into a quiet knowing that what you desire is already yours. In this space, you stop pushing against life. Instead, you begin to move with it. From this place of allowing, you become naturally aligned with what you want. You're no longer trying to bend reality to your will. You're stepping into a state where reality reflects you. But this isn't passive. It requires awareness. It means choosing again and again to think, feel, and act like the person who already has what they want. At first, this can feel unfamiliar, especially if you've spent a long time chasing. Your mind may drift back to doubt or fear. When that happens, don't fight it. Just notice it and gently guide yourself back. Treat your mind with patience, like you would guide a small puppy back on track. No frustration, no judgment, just calm redirection. Each time you return to the feeling of already having what you want, you strengthen that state. Over time, it becomes easier. It becomes natural. Eventually, it becomes your default way of being, the lens through which you see everything. As this shift happens inside you, you'll begin to notice changes around you. They may start small. People may respond to you differently. New opportunities may appear. Solutions may come effortlessly. These are signs that your inner shift is creating real changes in your outer world. Appreciate them, but don't cling to them. Let them remind you that the process is working. With consistency, those small changes grow into bigger ones. Your desires begin to unfold in ways that may even surprise you. But remember, the real goal isn't just the outcome. It's the state you've stepped into. When you truly feel fulfilled within, you no longer depend on external proof. And that's exactly when things begin to flow most easily. Some of you may still wonder about action. Yes, action matters. But not the kind driven by fear or urgency. When you're living from the end, action becomes inspired. You feel drawn to certain steps, guided without pressure. It feels natural, even enjoyable, because it's aligned with who you believe you are. Think again of a tree. It doesn't chase what it needs, it simply grows, and everything it requires comes to it. You are the same. You carry within you the same creative force. When you align with it, life begins to support you in ways that feel effortless. This way of living asks for trust, not blind trust in something outside of you, but trust in your own consciousness. It's about knowing that what you've imagined as real already exists within you, and that the outer world will reflect it in time. As you continue, you'll see more evidence, small confirmations, unexpected alignments, subtle shifts. These are reminders that your inner world is shaping your reality. Let them build your confidence, but don't depend on them. Stay rooted in your inner state. Some people worry that if they stop chasing, they'll lose motivation. But the opposite is true. When you're aligned, your motivation becomes stronger but calmer. It's no longer driven by fear, it's driven by certainty. You act not because you have to, but because it feels right. This is the deeper reward. It's not just about getting what you want. It's about living in harmony with life itself. It's about recognizing that you are not separate from the power that creates your experiences. You are that power. In this state, ideas flow easily. Opportunities show up at the right time. The right people enter your life naturally. It begins to feel smooth, almost effortless. And you realize this isn't luck, it's alignment. The real shift happens when you understand that nothing outside of you needs to change first. Everything begins within. You are not here to chase life. You are here to experience it as the creator. As we come to the end, hold on to this. Let go of the need to chase. Release the pressure to force things into place. Turn inward instead. Use your imagination to step into the feeling of already being who you want to be. Live from that place. Return to it often. Let it become familiar. Let it become real to you. And as you do, watch how your world begins to reflect it back to you. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are the one shaping them. Your awareness is the foundation of everything you experience. When you change your inner state, your outer world must follow. So move forward with this understanding. Test it in your own life. Experience it for yourself. Because when you do, you'll realize something powerful. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are the source of it. There is nothing to chase. Everything you desire already exists within you, ready to unfold. All that's left is for you to accept it, to feel it, and to live as if it's already yours. Open yourself to that truth. Trust it, live it, and watch how your reality transforms in ways you once thought were impossible. So as we come to the end of this journey, let this truth settle deeply within you. There is nothing you need to chase, nothing you need to force, and nothing outside of you that holds the power to complete you. The life you've been striving for, the success you've been reaching toward, the love, the peace, the fulfillment, it has never been separate from you. It has always existed within you, waiting not to be found, but to be realized. Every moment you spent chasing was simply a moment you forgot who you truly are. But now you remember. Now you understand that the moment you shift your state, the moment you embody the version of yourself who already has what you desire, everything begins to reorganize itself around you in quiet, almost magical ways. You no longer move with desperation, you move with certainty. You no longer act out of fear, you act from alignment. And in that alignment, life stops feeling like a constant struggle and starts unfolding like a story that was always meant for you. Understand this clearly. Your imagination is not a place of escape, it is the birthplace of reality. What you consistently feel to be true within yourself becomes the blueprint for what you experience outside. So when you choose, again and again, to return to the feeling of already having what you want, you are not lying to yourself, you are claiming your creative power. You are stepping into authorship of your own life. And yes, your mind will wander. Old patterns will try to pull you back into doubt, into lack, into the need to chase. But each time you gently return to your chosen state, you are strengthening a new reality, one that reflects your highest vision rather than your past limitations. And as this becomes your way of living, something extraordinary begins to happen. You stop measuring your life by what hasn't arrived yet, and you start experiencing a sense of completeness right now. You begin to feel whole, not because something finally showed up, but because you've aligned with the version of yourself who already has it. And in that wholeness, your desires no longer feel distant, they feel inevitable. Opportunities begin to appear, people respond to you differently, paths open where there were once obstacles. Not because you forced them into existence, but because you became the version of yourself for whom those things are natural. So walk forward from here with a quiet confidence. Trust not in the struggle, but in your state. Trust not in endless effort, but in alignment. Let your imagination lead, let your inner world guide you, and let your outer world reflect it in its own perfect timing. You are not here to chase life, you are here to create it, to embody it, and to experience it fully. And once you truly live from that understanding, you will realize that everything you ever wanted was never ahead of you. It was always within you, waiting for you to become it.